it's a big spiel for him at this stage, really preparing for the GMC World Curling Tour Championship in March.
Well, as Roger Miller said, you can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. We didn't bring our skates. We're going to go watch a little curling. We're going to move inside to the Wainwright Curling Club and the Husky Wainwright Classic.
Top of the world. Mountains, snow, sky, and the GMC Jimmy. Introducing the 2000 GMC.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
CTV Sportsnet is proud to...
Stop 4.
Hannah team
Stop
is in
4.
100,
Line's
is in 78th place
Come on, right here.
this season. $4,500 total. They did win $6,000 in Red Deer earlier this year.
What?
But it wasn't this kind of same makeup of team.
They lost that final in Red Deer to Terry Meek of Calgary. And so that was their big success on the tour this year, getting into that final. So their second try at winning the event totally. And this is where this team really begins to excel. Martin is such a high-ranked team in the world. Plays that corner guard, and then he has a lead like Bartlett, who can now take care of those rocks in the center and finally bring probably within a few shots that corner rock into play and get some stones buried in behind the corner. Nice shot by Bartlett.
Now removing the red from action, Chris Hassel now looks for instruction. He is a 25-year-old, been curling for 15 years. He's a realtor for Century 21. Actually lives in Lloydminster. Makes a long trip into Edmonton to play in the Super League.
They had a real tough game in the semifinal. Had to steal the game, 7-6 against Adam Spencer of Guelph. Brad Hanna made a real great shot, a long raise on his last rock in 10, and Spencer couldn't quite get through the port and follow him in for shot stone. So with that steal, here is Hanna in the final against Martin.
One of the great additions for the Kevin Martin team is right here at second. Carter Rycroft, the 22-year-old, originally from Grand Prairie, now lives in Sherwood Park, curls out of Otwell. He's a student right now and wanted to say hello to family and friends in Grand Prairie, but what a pickup for Kevin Martin.
And there's that fairly straight spot that I talked about in ice conditions, right along the edge of the forefoot. Seems to ride that line.
Let's take a look at the tour money leaders right now. Kerry Burtnick with $44,250. Vic Peters in second, just $250 back. Jeff Stoughton picked up some cash here. Dave Nedwin has won all his money in Alberta right now. As you take a look at the top 10, and Kevin Martin in 8th will certainly make a jump with a victory.
Hanna trying to get the first roll in behind the corner. Beat Martin there. Successful with that. Good throw, nice call.
Now this is before this weekend's activity, so a lot of these placements may change once all the events are completed. There's the second 10. Remember now, everybody's vying to be in the top 20 to get an invite to the GMC World Curling Tour Players Championship. Right now, Pat Spiring holds down number 20. And we are figuring that 21, maybe $22,000 is that magic cutoff point.
Well, it was last year. Took $22,000 to be into the top 20 and qualify into the Tour Championship. Martin didn't like the way that was sitting. Peeled the guard off. Hanna here with an opportunity to either split the rings by drawing to the opposite side or guard his own. That looks like ice for the split.
And brother Warren Hassel on the Brad Hanna team. He's 28. Veteran of 18 years of curling. He's a manager for EXL Milling. He's also out of Lloydminster. So at least Chris has somebody to drive to Edmonton with.
Starts his intern from rather an unusual position.
Straight across.
Starts with that from about the 1 o'clock. and releases it quite open.
Come on. Hurry! Come on! Come on, Luke. Still on the team path. Keep her going. As far as you can. As far as you can.
Brad Hanna coming out to work on it as well.
Easy. Good push.
The Hassel brothers are the newest additions to Brad Hanna's team.
Good in so far for Brad Hanna. That's what he'd like to do on this end. Lay two right, or have two in there right to the very end. And if he happens to get a rollout from Martin, well, then he gets the steal. If not, then force Martin to just a singleton.
Don Walchuk, 36 years of age, originally from Melville, Saskatchewan. He lives in Sherwood Park. He's an investment advisor with Gopal McDermott Securities.
He's been in the winning circle a lot of times. He's been to 6 Briars altogether. 4 of those with Ryan, 2 of them with Martin.
Normally, Don goes through an event with a grizzly look. He doesn't shave. But sponsor Bruce Saville asked him, he says, "You're on TV. You know, it'd look better if you shave." So Bruce asked Don to shave. So Don has shaved now for Bruce. I said, "So if you end up losing, do you blame Bruce on this?" Or?
Well, I can honestly say that I haven't seen Walchuk that clean shaven on TV for an awful long time.
So you should tell Bruce it's just the playoff beard.
Quick!
Like to roll back to where they were. Curls up enough to get a dead on, though. Martin motioning for the double. Fairly thin, though, around an eighth of a rock to about a quarter of that top stone. Doesn't need a lot of weight here. The angle isn't real flat across. Just takeout or a little bit up on takeout. Perennial all-star when he went to the Briar. Don Walchuk.
Yep. Well,
no double there. Maybe the roll in front or right across.
Just kisses off the red and will roll out of the rings and out of play.
Lucky for Hanna, he didn't have the hammer, and if that one would have hung on for a bite, he might have been forced to strategically have to take a hit at it.
I moved more than I thought it would. Or they just turned it in? Yeah, kind of a... Well, not a real, like, you know, crisp release. Curled early.
Looks like the ice here for the outturn draw.
14 and change.
Well, the 43-year-old Brad Hanna is out of Sherwood Park. He's a realtor for New Tech Realty.
Should be lots.
Now, unusual to see a player with throwing with such heavy gloves. Those are fairly thick. He mentioned before the release that hog to hog, this would time about 14 seconds.
Straight across. Oh, looks here, looks here. Easy, easy. It's all yours. Whoa. Whoa.
And that one slid a long way.
And for Brad Hanna, as you take a look at the team, this was a squad that was in the final of the Red Deer event, losing 6-5 to Terry Meek. Last year, did not make an awful lot of money. This year, they've got $4,500, better than last year.
And there's those thick gloves. Must be curling in some rinks that are fairly cold, and skips like to keep their hands warm before they have to throw.
Kevin Martin, the 33-year-old from Lougheed, now lives in Edmonton, runs a curling supply company. Drives out one of the Reds.
Pile of curl.
And he has a very impressive resume. 2-time Brier champion, winning in Calgary and Hamilton. Has already got $25,000, almost $26,000 this season. One of the best.
Well, he's almost done it all. He's won the Skins game, both of them. He's won the Brier. The thing that hasn't come his way is that world title as yet. 91, he lost to David Smith in Winnipeg, and that was the big fiasco over his team bringing out the corn brooms halfway through the game. And then in 97, at the Worlds, losing the semifinal to Peter Lindholm of Sweden.
Yep. Clean. Clean. Yep, hard, hard. Whoa, whoa. Clean. Whoa, whoa. Off.
Good place to hit and stay right there. Martin can't hit that one dead on and be shot. He would have to roll. Brad Hanna's done some good winning in the past. He's won the Smithers Big Cash Field before, 20 grand first there. He's won the Poor Boy in Edmonton 3 times. And there's a shot of Don Walchuk. Now we're back to Brad Hanna. He curled a number of spiels with me when he used to live in Lethbridge in the early 1980s. Throws a beautiful delivery.
This really is kind of almost a home game for Kevin. Kevin's wife Shauna is from Wainwright as he gets ready to throw the final stone of the first end.
No backswing, and really in 1991 when he curled in the final of the Worlds against David Smith, both players didn't use a backswing at all. And that sort of was the time when it really turned around. He hits and stays for one.
And he rolls in, and the first point belongs to Kevin Martin. 1-0 here at the Wainwright Husky Classic.
I know how to get around.
Jimmy features no-charge running boards and is packed with features offering you mountains of value and performance. The GMC Jimmy, taking GMC's renowned comfort and capability to new heights.
Everybody trying to get to the Players' Championship. It is set for March 15th to 19th next year at the Max Bells Center in Winnipeg. You see all the information on tickets. Semifinals are Saturday, March 18th. The final, Sunday, March 19th on the net and on CTV Sports. As we pick it up in the second end, Martin forced to take one in the opening end.
Wow.
And he asks...
Okay, that's full top 8 or so.
Got shot in the rings. The Martin team did want us to pass on their best wishes to Ed Tomlinson. They're thinking of you, Ed, and send their best wishes to you. Mookie Blaylock, a natural for Brian to have, natural nickname.
Careful.
It's the Mookie that's playing in the NBA.
Good. All right.
This one moving quite a bit.
Hey, Brian.
Hanna playing that corner guard quite a ways off center.
This thing.
And there we can really see how straight it is going towards center, only edge of the 4-foot, so expecting only 2 feet of curl from here to the center line.
Where do you want this?
Don Bartlett with this shot in the second end.
Line's good. Good. Okay, lots of room. Wolf, if you can.
Oh, right off.
Right along the line.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, wait for it. Yeah. Oh.
And that's what this ice is all about. It runs straight for an awful long time. The last 20 feet or so, that one moved up for Bartlett. Turned into a good guard.
In turn.
Important double for Brian here. If you could double these off and really establish 2 reds out in front, they would both belong to Hanna. He has the hammer, trailing by 1.
Yep. Whoa.
And he does the job.
Fine double made there. Now a corner guard out in front as well as a center. They just kept this clean all the way. It was thrown very well. Hanna unable to sweep that out. It's not to the tee line yet. Rolls out on its own. Center guard there, though, available for Kevin Martin to draw behind. And he chooses the out turn so that if he went on the in turn and it sat open, might leave a hit and roll around the corner for Hanna. So being the smart skip that he is, Martin goes with the out turn on the other side.
Oh, if you can. Oh, got a ton of room. Okay, hold it. Line's real nice.
They're waiting and waiting for it to make a break. Don't want it behind the tee either.
Chuck heard it.
Board. That one's fine. Roll the corner.
That one looked tight out of the hand of Chris all the way. Sweeper's able to bring it back, though. No way to get an inside roll. That was partially buried, and he'll roll right out.
Take that back.
Ice definitely getting somewhat trickier than we saw over the last couple days. And that one was certainly indicative of that, is that with the sweeping, it actually came off the guard. Beautiful slide there by young Carter Rycroft.
Okay.
Nice flat foot slide. Perfect balance all the way.
Room. Well, no. Yeah. Yeah.
And once again, plenty of room.
Just a little tight. I might have put it back a little bit.
There again, not a whole lot of ice here, only about 2 feet.
Room. Whoa. Whoa. Got room. Only if you have to. Whoa, lots of room.
And this Hannah team is a strong sweeping team.
Easy now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shot. Oh boy.
Well, these two teams have only played once this year, and that was in Lloydminster in a B final where Martin came away victor 5-2.
What was that? 14-2?
Don Walchuk says 14.2 seconds, and both these teams time rocks hog to hog on their draws. They don't time their peels too much. They throw them too hard for that.
Room. Okay. Room.
Line's good. Make sure it's
Room. Room. Lot of room. Line's reasonable. Freeze it.
Line's perfect. Just freeze it.
Freeze it. Okay, whoa then. Whoa.
Let him move. 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 Let him move.
14.3 seconds on that draw hog to hog as he settles in for the tap, and that's just as good as the freeze at this stage. And the delivery of Don Walchuk certainly different than most. His toes, as he walks, they're slightly inverted, and look at that there. He's got an inverted foot on that slide, the toes pointing in rather than out.
Draw weight. He did?
I don't know of too many people that can get away with that.
He's a good shooter.
Whoa. 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 Looks like lots. Whoa.
And that looks like a lot of weight
Close. Close.
from Warren. Now it starts to move.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
The curl.
Whoa. No, nothing.
Hannah yelling, whoa.
It worked.
No, try to just bump it back a little.
Hey.
Same weight. Just bump it back a little.
Freeze tap.
Yeah, just freeze. If you can tap it a little this way, that'd be great.
Okay.
Roll top pin.
The key to this tap for Don Walchuk and coming in on the outturn is to get to the inside of that stone, and any kind of inside roll doesn't have to move it very far. Just get a little inside. And this spot here, it's so easy to miss it to the wide broom side now as it's running real straight. And that looks like a lot of ice from Kevin Martin.
Right off. Right off. Right off.
No. Stay close.
Right off.
Yep.
Right off.
Not touching it at all, and it's starting to
Stay
break.
close. Whoa, off.
And now to Yellowstone.
That worked out real pretty for Walchuk. He's got the 2 yellow counters.
This one will spin up this way and give us some backing, I think.
What's that?
I like up normal.
Okay.
Just run here.
The double might be possible there. The yellow over the top of the other yellow has to be awfully close to the guard.
Hard! Hard! Push! Come on! Whoa. Whoa. Hey, Wyatt.
Just racks on the front. Had to throw it tight, though. It's awfully straight spot. Martin with one in the first end now has a chance for a steal.
How do we get there?
Well, I don't know. That's a lot of ice. I mean, weren't
You're here.
down here?
Go there.
Okay.
Well, we don't mind if we show them this half. Yep. Right? Yep. Just can't show them the other half.
Yep.
So go there.
Okay.
That should be good ice.
As Kevin Martin slides by,
Is it going to curl that much?
he is preparing. The team will be taking part in the
Tight
Skins
guard.
game next week in Whitehorse.
It's not too well. Just the line's got to be good.
Guard.
I don't mind showing them the inside half.
He's the defending champion.
And Jeff Stoughton will be there as well as the Brier winner from last year. And Vic Peters, as well as Wayne Madaw.
Clean it.
Really?
Just shorter in.
Oh, let it curl.
Yep.
Let it curl.
Straighten it up.
Let it curl. Let it
Straighten it
curl.
up. Oh,
Let it
mine's
curl.
good.
Let it curl.
Oh, it's got to curl.
It's got to curl.
Right
Big
along
time.
that line there,
Hold
right
it
around
hard.
the edge of the forefoot, runs
Let's
very
go.
straight.
Heart. Heart.
They're going to try and take it as far as they can now to try and get some extra curl out of it.
Heart. Good.
Has to keep moving.
That's pretty good.
And it came over good at the end.
It is nice. It stays out there forever. Make sure we get this one.
Yeah, but I'm scared.
Know what I mean?
Inside that path.
Even if it goes bonk, 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 then we got a second shot. Right? Because this one's going to spin up this way. As long as it doesn't spin back in. So try and bounce it off the side of that. Okay? Right about there.
Yeah. Hey.
Out turn.
Yeah. Oh, sure. All you do.
Brad Hanna, a former Canadian junior champion. Way back in 1974, he played third for Rob King of Edmonton when they won the Canadian Juniors.
He wasn't keen on telling you that.
Well, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
Not that he's not proud of it, but he just thought 74 seemed so long ago.
beautiful backswing. Foot comes right in and
Yep.
tremendous slide right in behind the rock. He's got to make a good one here. He's really in trouble. Backfires big time.
Big problem there is the Reds spill out. They lose one yellow only. Now a great opportunity for Kevin Martin without a hammer.
Well, it's a very straight spot, but it overcurled for them. They let it go too long. He doesn't get it off the top yellow. And now instead of instead of two, Martin now has 3 counters.
Maybe we should almost just leave this then. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get to there. That's all.
Even if you just cut it off, like that's not the end of the, well, no, you get, no, I like to go right there.
Right here, exactly. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
How to get it to there?
As long as you don't go deep.
Edge of 4? Smidge less, right?
Yeah.
Right there.
The shot that Kevin Martin is playing is an out
He makes
turn
that
draw,
in-turn button.
and he wants
I
to
know he
come,
makes that.
come right there so he can block the draw into the button.
We want it to get to center line for sure.
He doesn't want to just guard up
Prop it.
here because it would leave the draw open.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, he
Play the
just
front
doesn't
forward.
want to guard the draw there. That would leave the hit open here. So he's playing right here, and if he can bite just
Well, that
the
would be
top of the
perfect.
forefoot,
You can lock a corner on it, perfect.
it takes care of a lot of problems with one shot.
Okay.
And if he can position this absolutely perfect, there may be no choice for Brad Hanna but to give him at least one,
Well, just for weight.
maybe two.
New path. Just for weight. Not deep. Not deep.
Let it curl. Let it curl.
The worst thing would be to go
Let it
right
curl.
to the
Yeah.
button and leave a wide open hit.
Hard, 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 hard. Starting to curl. Let's go. Hard, hard. Every inch. Come on, hard. Hard, 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 hard. Hard, come on, Carter. Hard, 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 hard. Hard, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whoa, perfect. Whoa. Good shot.
Good sweeping by Carter Rycroft. Don Bartlett, front end.
8 off the top of the 6, and 6 back half on the 5.
Wow.
I'll use that or you're drawing over here.
I'll make sure I get to him right anyway.
Can we get the double and stick on the 4-foot? I don't think so. I don't think so.
That's a skinny quad.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty skinny.
Way too skinny. His in-turn draw is brutal. We could do this. We're still cutting him down to 2 anyways, right?
Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well play the end.
I think we got to throw the in, don't you? Huh? See what the boys think.
Well, they even considered
guys,
the
what do you like?
quad, but they discounted it quickly. He said, that's a skinny quad.
Huh? Nope.
It's
Well,
not an
that's what
easy
I'm thinking.
situation at all, Rob.
Four is horrible.
The in-turn draw through this hole. It's a tough line, and
Oh, yeah.
the weight
Throw the
has to
same
be
shot I
so
just threw.
precise.
Them two.
Pretty tough this way.
But it has been
Ooh,
running
that tough
straight
in-turn,
down there,
pretty
though,
tough
Ed.
in-turn draw.
No, I can't get 3. It's about 1/8 of a stone. Play the double, the same one I just threw.
I like this call. Even if he hits it directly on the nose, he should only give up 1. And that wouldn't be bad at this stage.
You want to play this?
Yeah, just double them out. Yeah.
But he doesn't
Same
want to
way.
roll, just straight on the nose.
Just a little more.
Drive that one back on a shot rock and let it stay for 1.
So very quickly, Brad Hanna has to make an important shot in this game.
They've got to sweep this back. If he touches the top, he's given up 3. It's a
He's
steal of
given up
3.
3. A steal of 3 by Kevin Martin, and it's all of a sudden 4-0. A beautiful night in Wainwright, Alberta, and a great start for the Kevin Martin team.
Hey guys, it's getting dark. Come on, one more game. Go get him! Dad?
That's 2 out of 3.
Sierra from GMC, 365 days a year.
For 27 days in September 1972, the Cold War was fought on ice.
Some of them after that series were never the same.
A definitive inside look at the players and a series that changed the face of hockey forever.
It wasn't a game. It was our society against their society.
Summit on Ice, December 12th on CTV Sportsnet.
Game day, every day.
This is how some sports networks put together their morning shows. And this is CTV Sportsnet.
Good morning, everybody.
So you can watch last night's show over and over. Or get interviews, scores, stories, breaking sports news weekday mornings on Sports Central AM. The choice is yours.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Why are Hershey's Kisses so popular? Because good taste never goes out of style. Little Hershey's Kisses. Big chocolate taste.
Well, around here, safety's a full-time job.
Oh, yeah, it is. I think routine. We think about safety all the time.
It's got to be right there. I think it's important for people to look out for each other. More people work together.
The better the results.
Yeah, we think about safety all the time, you know. It's important. We have to.
We depend on each other.
My most valuable asset?
Are these guys on the floor.
Safety's something we got to worry about.
Why? So our families don't have to.
Every year, thousands of people in Ontario suffer serious injuries at work. A safe workplace is something we can't live without.
Well, Ed, an early edge for the Kevin Martin team. This brought to you by M&M Meat Shops.
Well, I still feel that Brad Hanna played the right shot here, but such a straight spot. He didn't want to get outside, so instead he got it inside, and it over-curled, and he racks on the top yellow. Then Martin had just thrown a big steal of 3 here for Kevin Martin in the second end, jettisoning him into a 4-0 lead after 2 ends, and it's going to be tough to catch Martin at that rate. And the thing about that second is that the Kevin Martin team did not play 1 hit in the entire end. Walchuk was the only one. He moved 2 rocks back in the 4-foot belonging to Hanna. Martin playing draws guards with both of his, right into the rings with his last guard. So 8 soft shots in a row for the Martin team, and ends up in a steal of 3. Each team in this game throwing 8 rocks per end, and over 10 ends, that's 80 stones.
Halfway's good.
The difference in money in this game is $16,000 for first, 10 per second, so a difference of $6,000. So $75 riding on each rock for that team, should they win.
Starting to slow down a bit. Just a bit.
Tight.
Yeah, so that was a $225 end for Kevin Martin right there.
That went flying out the window for Brad Hanna.
More. Lean it hard.
Right here.
Bartlett put his first one in.
Looks like more weight than the last one.
Just short of the top 4-foot. Hanna with the guard way over on the right-hand corner.
That's in.
Edge of the 8-foot area.
Leave her die if it will.
Martin will bring this right in, and you'll see Kevin Martin now really go after those corner guards. That's his style of play, peeling the corners after the first 3 stones at the end, that is. Mookie Blaylock, his out-turn, wants to move these back, the 2 yellows, that is. Keep his shooter in front of them.
Shot, Brian.
Shot.
This has been a busy weekend on the GMC World Curling Tour. Take a look at some of the other town events. One in Edinburgh, Scotland, at the Braid Hills International. McCain Super Spiel East in Florenceville, New Brunswick. Saskatchewan hosting the Painted Hand Classic. As well, there's competition in Abbotsford, BC, the Farmers Save in Gimli, and the St. Paul Cash Spiel in St. Paul, Minnesota. We will update all the activity in the 5th end break.
And it really appears that second man Carter Rycroft has fit in tremendously now with this Martin team. And really, I think the key for them was when they went to Bern, Switzerland this year. Kevin Martin mentioned how the chemistry of the team really started to come together there. They went on that trip over to Europe, had a lot of fun together, curled a number of games against European teams, and got some exposure to the 4-rock rule over there as well. They came back, and then in Sault Ste. Marie, they played a tremendous field there, although they did lose the final to Wayne Madaw.
7-5, the final score. You saw that on CTV Sportsnet. Getting the hit and roll.
Easy. What?
Was tapping the yellow.
Probably Peel, eh? Yeah, Peel.
Well, as you said, he'll start to peel away the guards, and that's exactly what he's doing now.
When he's still with either the lead or the second stones, he always feels that corner guard is the problem stone that a team could get one buried in behind. So he likes to peel the corner, take the game into the rings, and with the way Walchuk and Martin can throw the big, high, hard heat, they feel that they can double anything out of the rings that the other team has in there. And that's what makes it really tough to catch up to this team, Martin, that is. Once they get the lead,
Go this way.
they don't give you a whole lot to work with.
Yep. Clean. Little tight.
Chris Hassel, he skipped in the Canadian Juniors in 1992, representing Alberta. Record of 3-8.
Hard flying. Whoa. Clean.
Playing the freeze, but the tap isn't bad either.
That's good. Hey, boy.
It is a tap.
Shot.
And Martin tried to get that yellow and right out of there.
Try and get them all. What's that?
Try and get them all.
Yeah.
If you're Kevin Martin right now, you don't want your own yellow ones in the back ring. It only affords you a possibility of jamming a hit back on there. And speaking with Kevin Martin before the game, I mentioned to him how relaxed he looks on the ice these days. He just seems to be totally at home during the curling game, makes a lot of shots look easy. And a very relaxed composure.
And here comes a little bit of a heater from Don Walchuk.
And I guess why not when you've got a team like this in front of you with Bartlett and Rycroft and then Don Walchuk.
Picked away the red.
Now they're showing you that they can really peel in. In the second end, they threw 8 draws in a row to steal that 3-ender, so they can play either game. Hanna with a chance for a 2-ender here, although that second shot that he has on the left-hand side of the sheet isn't sitting real fine for him. It's a bit off angle.
He's a little harder out here.
With that hammer broom down, you'll hear it scraping as he slides out, as it rides over the pebble.
Clean. Hard. Line's good. Just the weight. Hard. Come on, hard.
Go low on the
Come on,
broom.
hard. Come on, bring it down. Hard, hard,
Brian
hard, hard.
Blaylock is.
Come on, guys. Come on, every inch. Every inch.
For the Brad Hanna team, it's been a long way to this final. They qualified through the C event after dropping 2 real early games.
Well, it's nothing like playing with a little desperation. Drop 2, you can't drop any more.
Hey? Kind of weight. Well, throw it big. Be normal. No sense playing around.
The Brad Hanna team has been on their last life for a long time in this field. And that's tough when you get down in the C event early. Every game is absolutely do or die.
So welcome to Wainwright. Lost to Stoughton and lost to Morissette. Then everything started to straighten up for them, and they marched into the final, succeeding Adam Spencer 7-6.
6 big wins in a row since dropping those first 2.
Hard! Hard!
Might he jam this on the back?
No, he gets it, and it spills out. As you said, he didn't probably want that yellow hanging around the back 12.
Well, that's the benefit of being able to throw the big weight, even though if you hit it on 3/4 of the back when it still jumps out of the rings.
Same shot.
For Kevin Martin, he did it the easy way. Just didn't lose.
6 in a row. 4 to qualify, then a win in the quarterfinals, then a win in the semifinals, twice beating his old third Kevin Park, who went to the Briar with him in 91, 92, and 95.
Whoa!
But interestingly enough, Kevin Martin didn't even qualify in this event last year. So Martin having a lot more success here this year.
Hard for line.
Well, as Kevin said, it was a tough season for him. They didn't even make it into the provincials.
Right, Rob, that's 2 years in a row. After winning Alberta in 95 and 96 and 97, Kevin Martin didn't make it to the Alberta provincials for 2 years in a row. That's kind of unheard of.
Shows you the level of competition they get in this province if somebody like Kevin Martin can't find a spot in the provincials.
Going back into the 1980s, the Alberta provincials were a triple knockout with an A, B, and C event, and a team could win all three of the events.
Got Chuck down and out.
But now the Alberta final is a round robin with a semifinal and final.
Well, Brad Hanna has got this team together. It's a brand new team. His problem is, though, he's been suffering from a back problem, and that has caused him an awful lot of trouble. He says feels pretty good right now.
I had back surgery, I guess about 8 years ago now, and I seem to have a recurrence of the same problem, and I was flat in my back for about a month, and all those folks with back injuries can understand it was not fun. So the boys went and played a couple times without me, and it's tough when you don't have your whole team there. But I was chomping at the bit and calling on the phone and finding out how they were doing. But I'm real happy to be back playing. I seem to have a little bit of trouble sometimes, but it's nothing that I can blame any misses on whatsoever. I feel good enough to be playing out there right now.
Well, good enough to get into the championship here at the Husky Wainwright.
He's in the real estate business. I think you would buy a house from this man. He's well-spoken.
Yep.
This one has to be swept all the way to hold the line. Doesn't want to spill that one of his right out of the rings. Looks like he does have shots and second shot stone.
Sorry, Brad. Might be able to get it. Let's not jam. Hey?
All you do is move it an inch.
Yeah. Hit it thick.
Shot, right?
We need lots of weight on this one. Well, Kevin Martin on his in turn has to
I'll
hit
make sure I don't miss it.
3/4 of that and roll across and move that one out as well. The reason for the big weight is that when he hits that much, like 3/4 of shot stone, a lot of the energy is transferred to the rock that he strikes, so he has to have still about 25% left in the shooter for the roll. Looked tight on that one, way tight. I don't know if that ticked or he was just that far inside.
Well, he's now shot. But it's going to leave Hanna a chance to get on the board.
We're not hearing anything from Martin as far as that one having picked, so I think he just turned it inside. A real rarity for him on a shot like that. This one being played from the outside in. Not much ice, right on the edge of the rock for Brad Hanna. Definitely pulling for him on this one to get the deuce and get onto the scoreboard.
Clean. Clean. Clean, yep.
Threw it well. They're just keeping it clean.
Hard. Stop, Brad.
And he will pick up 2. 2 red, and now it's a 4-2 game. A little more interesting now as Brad Hanna does the job. Here on the net.
Top of the world. Mountains, snow, sky, and the GMC Jimmy. Introducing the 2000 GMC Jimmy. For a limited time, Jimmy features no-charge running boards and is packed with features offering you mountains of value and performance. The GMC Jimmy, taking GMC's renowned comfort and capability to new heights.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Always knew our son would make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
We just wish he would have taken us.
The Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. You and 9 friends can get into the Molson Canadian Millennium Gala at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where you can win 2,000 tickets to your local team. Look at specially marked cases for the Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. It must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. Call 1-800-499-6583. M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
We nailed him. Oh, let's go.
Oh?
Happy holidays, fat boy.
Spyro's back. Mess with this dragon, and you'll get burned.
Ow! That's gotta hurt.
PlayStation.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Oh, apparently the Ed Lukowich fan club, very forward. Fast, Eddie, will you marry us? Lukowich, you got some splaining to do here in Wainwright. Our hair is too short to curl. There you go. I do believe Lukowich is blushing. Wave at your new friends.
Looks like a lot, Warren. Whoa.
Well, we'll be hoping they weren't watching that in my household in Calgary.
Fourth end of action. Kevin Martin leading Brad Hanna 4-2.
Whoa. Hey, boy.
Hey.
Go on, Mook.
Hannegaard tight to the rings.
Well, one thing for sure, we've all had a lot of fun in Wainwright this weekend. Martin team really had a chance for that, qualifying through the event. They had a day off.
Line's good.
Basically a day and a half.
Just
Lots
relax.
of weight. We're going.
Okay.
We're in.
We're in if you can.
We're in.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, the group here that organized it, Howard Neff and everybody, just puts on a terrific show. Treat us
Good shot,
royally.
Donnie.
They're happy to have the GMC World Curling Tour come to town. Get a chance to show off the town, 6,000. It's a military, oil, and farming community. And as you saw, we are not too far away from the buffalo as we went in search of the buffalo. Getting to learn a lot about nature in this country. Elk last week, buffalo this week. We're gonna have to find the wildlife in Saskatoon for next week.
Brian Blaylock with his outturn.
Roll your weight, Warren. Roll your weight.
Wants to be sure and hit and stay in the rings.
And he does, as we'll take a look at how the leads are shaping up. Bartlett is 83%, Blaylock at 96%.
And both mostly playing draws, 5 draws each, only 1 hit. And as we mentioned in last night's game, that's normally the package that the lead brings to the game, more draws than hits. Normally out of the 20 shots, about 15 draws. Maybe 5 hits, 4 or 5 hits.
Good shot.
And there's a hit for Bartlett. So he's now played his second hit of the game.
Just roll over here. Normal hit.
Just to size up the situation here, Brad Hanna down 4-2 without the hammer here in the 4th end. Could ignore that rock and really try to get into the center draw game. Feels there's a lot of game left though, and has to deal with this yellow counter first of all. Would like to hit and roll right in behind center.
Martin roll a little further, will be open in the back of the 8th.
It's behind the tee, and be interesting to see if Martin decides to hit or freeze. And the theory in curling is that when rocks are behind the tee line like that, you'll freeze a lot more often. When you have the hammer, you'll take that risk when you have the hammer, as Martin does here.
Clean.
Rycroft with plenty of weight, and he rolls out.
And for Carter Rycroft and Chris Hassel, it looks like this. Hassel's at 96%. Rycroft 88%.
And there's that contrast, more hits than draws. And that's what you'll find with the second players, as opposed to the leads who throw mostly draw shots. Now this center guard is very tight, and it might be difficult to get in behind.
Clean it. Yep.
Line only.
Yep. Hard.
Really starting to curl now. Strong sweeping gets it by.
Back here anyways.
The former Alberta junior men's champion
I'll look after you.
pulls that one into just behind the 4-foot.
And I don't
Front of
believe that
back.
Hannah really minds that being deep there. If Martin draws to it, Hannah will draw to him. Martin says, "I'm having no part of that." He's going to peel the front. We saw Carter Rycroft in 1998 as he skipped in the Canadian Junior Final, losing that final in Calgary to John Morris, and Morris went on to win the World Juniors.
Sorry, Carter.
And in that game, Carter was only one down playing the 8th end against John Morris. He missed a draw to lay 2 with his first one in the 8th end. Then he actually fanned a hit on his last one to give a steal to Morris. And that cost him the junior title.
Yep.
For Warren Hassel, he won the high school provincial championship in 1989, Chauvin High School. In fact, this has been a pretty good rink to him because they won the championship on the sheet of ice right next door, sheet 3, here at the Wainwright Curling Club. Chauvin High School, just a little east of Edgerton here in Alberta. Edgerton, just a few minutes down the road from Wainwright.
Yep. Here it comes. Hard. 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 Come on. Hurry. Hard, hard, hard. Hurry.
Playing a guard on that stone of theirs, just behind the 4-foot.
Shot, Warren.
That guard is longer. Maybe Kevin Martin will come in behind.
Sure. What do you think?
I wonder if I can move him.
I can tap him out. Okay. Huh? Yeah, it'll finish in here.
Whatever. You want to freeze?
Well, you can bump it out. You can see lots.
Move him out? Yeah,
Fine.
that's what I thought.
Sure.
When it comes to Brier champions, the only rink in the history of Canadian curling that won 4 Briers was the Richardsons back in the late 50s and early 60s. Some of the 3-time winners of the Brier, Matt Baldwin from Alberta, Ron Northcott from Calgary, Don Walchuk, doing it with 2 teams, 2 Brier wins with Pat Ryan, 88 and 89, and then with Kevin Martin in 97.
Hard! 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 Is it out? No. Hard! Hard!
Martin
hard,
asking
hard.
for the amount of weight is enough to tap it right out. Yes, it is.
Good job by Don Walchuk, and nice job sweeping, too,
Left him a freeze.
by Bartlett and Rycroft. As we compare the thirds, 88% for Don Walchuk, 75% for Warren Hassel. Had trouble on the one hit.
When Don Walchuk is on his game, you're in for a long night if you're playing right up against him. A bit of a tight grip there. Really gets his hand right around the handle rather than just with the fingers. Nice release, though.
No. Freeze. No.
It's there all by itself. Doesn't need any help from the sweepers.
Come on, Brian.
Got a little bit of nothing. Didn't get it out. Didn't get the roll in behind. Didn't get the freeze.
Right on the beak.
That's brutal.
You hear the comment of Warren as he came down. He was not very pleased with the shot.
The nose is fine. Roll here.
Right on the nose.
This Martin team was also in the Olympics when it wasn't an official sport. That was in 1992 when they qualified from having won the Brier in 91. And that Olympics was held in Albertville or somewhere in a hockey rink outside of Albertville. Really, I mean, there was not near really the main facilities in that Olympics.
Wow, wouldn't I thought it didn't.
Martin got to the semifinals in that one and lost in the third, fourth playoff to the U.S. So the story on Kevin Martin is he just hasn't had, he's had all the success in Canada, but at the world level, he's never been able to make it. He lost in 1987 in the World Juniors, then in the Olympics in Albertville, Worlds in 91, and the Worlds in 97.
Give this a whirl. We're going to be drawing on our second one. We could draw on our first one. Yep. This shot's there, 3/4 of a stone.
Well, if you were really a gambling man here, you'd go behind the center guard. But if you don't make it perfect, Martin gets a 3-ender.
Oh, he wasted no time in the release there. That was...
Threw it real hard. Hits and stays, but he's not shot stone. And he knows what Martin's going to do. Go behind the center.
Got to do this. Yep. Should be plenty.
We're talking about his visits to the World Championships. In 91, lost to David Smith. 97,
well, the line's good.
Peter Lindholm.
Except he could roll behind the corner.
A fine shot here from Kevin Martin could really increase the degree of difficulty for Brad Hanna. Even if Brad can see some of this outturn, he has to be careful not to jam it across the sheet onto his own red.
Oh, line's good.
So Martin will try to play this as high as he can.
Need a bite of the 8. Hurt. Hard.
Like about top 8 foot.
Hard. Come on. Hard, hard, hard.
Really looks like it's dragging its feet, though. He might not get it there.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just get it as tight as possible.
Get it. Hurry. Well, that's a big miss from Kevin Martin. Doesn't make the rings.
Okay. Well, Kevin Martin's, his team's won about $26,000 so far this season. We asked him whether or not he was happy with his team's performance so far.
Well, I'm not so worried about where we're placed on the money list. That doesn't matter. But we haven't won an event this year yet. And like anything else, the money doesn't matter as much as winning the titles. And that's, you want to win something, right? You want to be able to finish it off. No matter how much money is first or second or third or fourth, to finish it off and win something, that's what you want to do.
Interesting.
Well, good remarks there. And
some go real early, some don't.
I think a lot of tour players would agree there. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter whether it's the 10 or the 15 or 20,000 first, but it's getting to that pinnacle and winning the championship. And you really see that in the Brier, where there isn't even a prize money. It's just the honor and the glory of winning the Brier and going to the Worlds, and yet it means everything to the players.
Yep. Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Room.
Room. Room. Whoa.
Room.
Whoa.
Ton of room.
Whoa. Oh, Curl, come on.
That was just running straight on that edge of the 4-foot.
Whoa. Leave it high.
From outside in. There was a tremendous chance to bury this one and steal a point. But the ice isn't kind to Brad Hanna in that place.
And the comparison between Hannah and Martin, right now 71% for Hannah, 83 for Kevin Martin after the first 3 ends of play. And it comes down to the final stone of the
not even that. I think the only one that went in there.
4th end.
Yeah.
And generally with the skips in a game, in a close game that's a 1-point game either way, you'll see the skips throw about 12 hits and about 8 draws out of their 20 stones.
Lot of room, lot of room, lot of room.
No, line's all right.
Martin here with a very lightweight tap, just wants to tap the red one back.
Got
And this one's really ran back on him on the corner of the 8-foot.
Come on.
Just riding that line.
Oh, it's got nothing.
I don't think he's got it.
Jay.
He's going to miss it. It will be a steal of 1 for Hannah. So all of a sudden, Hannah has made himself very much a presence here in Wainwright. It is 4-3 after 4 ends of action in the championship.
Top of the world. Mountains, snow, sky, and the GMC Jimmy. Introducing the 2000 GMC Jimmy. For a limited time, Jimmy features no-charge running boards and is packed with features offering you mountains of value and performance. The GMC Jimmy, taking GMC's renowned comfort and capability to new heights.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Mohawk with regular or Premium Plus ethanol blended gasoline. The ethanol blend provides a built-in gas line antifreeze to help your engine start fast and run smoothly, even in the coldest of weather. This winter, you'll win with Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station, now a proud part of the Husky team.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
This is how some sports networks put together their morning shows. And this is CTV Sportsnet.
Good morning, everybody.
So you can watch last night's show over and over. Or get interviews, scores, stories, breaking sports news weekday mornings on Sports Central AM. The choice is yours.
The Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. You and 9 friends can get into the Molson Canadian Millennium Gala at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where you can win 2,000 tickets to your local team. Look at specially marked cases for the Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. Call 1-800-499-6583.
That is the town of Wainwright, Alberta. We thank the local sponsors, the town itself, a good place to live, work, do business, and curl a game or two, and Wainwright Paint and Paper. Part of the GMC World Curling Tour. Now, for those wanting to know exactly where Wainwright is, we put together this little driving tour as you leave the Edmonton airport. Now, you see, we had to take 2 or 3 shots of this. Our co-pilot had a problem with Viking there. We had to stop for directions. Put the brakes on right here in Wainwright. Very nice, pleasant drive. It has been absolutely gorgeous in this part of the province. It was almost balmy, as you could tell by our opening. We were just wearing our suit jackets outside.
Hard, hard, hard.
I don't think we could have done that last night. A little chilly last night.
And it warmed up in half a day, very much so.
And I think you've been pretty good today, too, for a man who is cheering lustily for the Calgary Stampeders yesterday in the Grey Cup. You've handled it very well.
Well, I wasn't too pleased when I...
And as a Hamilton Tiger Cats fan, all I have to say is, Oski wee wee, pal.
Well, listen, we won last year, the Stamps. That's got to count.
Nobody remembers last year, pal. some good performances in that game. The crew got together. We had a great evening watching the Grey Cup.
Well, rather than picking on me, let's pick on Kevin Martin here for a second. You know, you always learn things in curling. And he could have learned something here from old fast Eddie Lukowicz. He didn't play on this sheet the last game. As a matter of fact, Brad Hanna played on this sheet against Adam Spencer. So this sheet was getting straighter and straighter. When I talked with Kevin Martin before the game, I told him how deadly straight this sheet had become along the edge of the forefoots. And it had been curling nicely on all the other ones. And he got trapped by it on that shot. Instead of being up 6-2, well, where is he now? Only up 4-3. One miss that you wouldn't think you'd get from Kevin Martin there on his last shot on the fourth end. And all of a sudden, we've got the Brad Hanna team. You know, you get some good fortune, and you start thinking, well, we're doing pretty good here. Real confidence builder. They're right back in the game, only trailing 4-3. And momentum now, the Big Mo really on the side of the Hanna team, as they're forging a pretty good comeback at this stage. And really, the last time Martin was in a final, if I'm correct, it was in Sault Ste. Marie when he was up 3-0 early on Wayne Maddaw in that final and lost that.
Okay. Good. Good sweep. Shot.
Looking forward to seeing how Kevin Martin adjusts. Now he knows, you know, firsthand exactly how straight that one area was. In fact, I'm surprised because it was a pretty interesting warning you gave him, too, that you thought it was running pretty straight.
And I don't really know the reason for that. Like, it just seems that with all the hard sweeping that's happened on this sheet, a straight spot has really developed on the edge of the forefoot, both sides.
Whoa, whoa. Just back. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 Lean on it. Hard. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, they're going to bump on the guard in front.
All right.
Well, there is more move once you get away from the edge of the forefoot. You're getting closer towards the button area. There is more move. And quite often the way a sheet will shape up has a lot to do with the way it's ice kinged. And in this particular rink, the ice king is exactly 5 feet wide. That's the width of the blade on it. So if you go from the edge of the boards 5 feet over, you come right to the edge of the forefoot. And if that blade isn't running completely true, a little high on one end or the other, or a little bit warped, that's why you might be getting those tricky spots right along the lines on the edge of the forefoot.
Okay.
Quite often when you want to really understand ice, the first man you go talk to in the building is the ice maker, the ice technician. And you find out how he makes the ice, how he floods, how he works the ice king machine.
Hard. 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 Okay.
Sports Central comes your way following curling. Brad Fay and Darren Millard will take a look at the Leafs as they try to build on a victory on Saturday night. Steve Francis returns to Vancouver as a member of the Houston Rockets, and the Monday night game is Green Bay and San Francisco. Sports Central with Fay and Millard. In the Pacific region, it will be Sports Central with Mark Hebscher. That is coming up in the Pacific region tonight, right after the GMC World Curling Tour.
Whoa, it's not a curl, guys.
Castle, Chris, that is, playing the intern freeze.
No.
Looks like plenty of weight.
Let's roll on top of this one. Hard. Hard.
Perfect
Hard.
basket to freeze right into.
All right.
That worked out pretty well. Nice call by Brad Hanna at the end.
Freeze. Well, freeze tap.
I kind of like a draw bump. Yeah. Just bump it a little bit. Same way, yeah.
Well, one thing about the Kevin Martin team, and especially him himself, with all the experience he has, he's a cool customer now. He won't be too upset. He was up 4-0, but now it's 4-3. A lot of game to go yet.
Line's good. How's the weight?
With the hammer here, he's setting it up for a big end.
Hard. 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 Hard for line. Hard for line. Lucky. Hard for line. Lucky. Hard.
Walchuk with an 8-ender brush, working hard next to the stone.
Nice job by the sweepers on the rock by Carter Rycroft.
Bartlett with the brownie broom really helping out as well. And that's a good angle for Martin.
Is no? Yeah. I like that. Just throw a draw attack, no? Hey. Just got to move it back here, huh?
Yep.
Roll into here.
If you're Brad Hanna, you really have to be careful in this.
Just back here.
A lot of yellow ones in there, all belonging
Just
to
kind of
Martin.
wait here. Move it here.
And even with this shot, he isn't really removing any yellow from play. He's just jiggling them around, trying to roll in behind the red.
Bump their yellow back flat behind the guard.
And Kevin Martin loves this kind of stuff. You can have 1 or 2 reds in there, but he'll double them out, and all of a sudden he's counting 4. Most players are taught nowadays on the in turn to start their in turn from about the 11 o'clock position. Warren starts his at around the 1 o'clock.
No lie.
Straight down the edge of the 4-foot. Should move once it gets inside the line. There it comes.
There it goes.
But you might color that ugly. Everything's sitting really bad there on those angles for Brad Hanna.
Well, one thing Kevin did tell us before is that he expected to see a lot of rocks in play against Brad Hanna. And again, another end with a fair bit of clutter.
Heard me out.
This one is pretty well right on the nose for Don Walchuk. Red onto the edge of the yellow. The yellow takes out the back red. The top red spins out to the left side. Has to strike it right on the nose first. And there he is with that inverted foot slide. He drops down on the release. Ton of weight.
Shot.
And look at all the yellow.
And nothing in the 4-foot area to freeze to either.
Did a great job. Get rid of the reds, leaves the yellow around. Reminder to you that in the Pacific region, the greater Vancouver area, you will see the Houston Rockets, Steve Francis, his return to Vancouver, the team he said he did not want to play for. We'll see how the Grizzlies respond. It's tonight, 7 Pacific in the greater Vancouver area only on Sportsnet. 4-3 the score. End number 5 of the Husky Wainwright Classic.
Gonna wait.
Normal up.
Kevin Martin made all signs that he was going to strike early and run away, but to Brad Hanna's credit, they've taken every opportunity and added to it.
Only 3 shots left for the Hanna team on this end to get out of this mess. And believe me, they are in a lot of trouble.
All right.
Those are rocks all sitting nicely for Kevin Martin.
Straight. What's real straight?
I don't know.
In this particular situation, Martin doesn't care if Hanna makes a double. That still would leave at least a 3-ender. The one thing he doesn't want to do right now is hit and roll right in behind the 4-foot area, in behind the red guard, and afford Hanna a freeze to escape. He'd be willing to hit and stay right here, though.
Good shot.
That's the plan.
It's a little less than half a stone.
This is a combination of Walchuk and Martin, the hardest third skip pairing in curling right now, the hardest throwing.
Anywhere in the world, there's no team. You're right, Rob, that matches up at the third and the skip position that can throw as hard as these two guys.
Let's nail it.
And they can make those long doubles across the rings. And Walchuk is absolutely tremendous at this real high, hard, straight back raises. And he looks pretty clean shaven there, too.
Good addition. He's been with this team for 4 years now.
Moved up to third in 1996. Originally was playing second for Kevin Martin. Furby was the third. Going for the roll is Brad Hanna. Will he get fortunate?
Oh, is that going to go through? Scores.
Wow, right through the hole.
Field goal right through the posts. You could hear Brad say that. Don't go through.
Yeah, that was real lucky. A lot of luck, but all bad on this roll.
I think it's worth a try.
Touch more of that rock, and he would strike the top or the back side of that yellow one over there. Spin to the back and but right through the port. Free passage.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Oh, this is I just don't like the idea of trying to bury something. Like, he'll end up.
Peculiar call here from Kevin Martin. He could draw in to have 4 counters by drawing back to that area where his yellow just was. Instead, he's going to take off the guard. Say to Brad Hanna, now you try and not give me at least 2 or 3.
Off it, off it. Off. Off, clean.
Wants to chip it over the top of all of his stones, and that he does. Took away any escape that Brad Hanna had by bearing in behind that guard.
That call. Yeah, the way it's been going, now we'll just try and keep it as simple as you can. You think?
Oh, let's give it a run. There's no freezes. No, there isn't any. None that are safe, anyway. No, can't do that either. Gotta hit about 3/4 of a stone hard.
Hanna throwing it hard, going for the double, trying to cut this end down to just a 1 or 2 ender.
Yep. Yes. Hard.
Doesn't quite get it out of the rings. Didn't throw it hard enough.
Needed Martin-type muscle.
Well, he threw it awfully hard. That was a tough angle.
So, hit on the beak.
Broom.
And the problem was is that he had to hit so much of that first yellow. His shooter lost a lot of energy. That was transferred to the rock. He did strike. Didn't have enough weight to get the roll and make the double. Martin could go with the other turn here, the out turn, and come from the inside to the out. It might run better.
Same as I've been throwing.
Pretty sure he has the spot figured out now.
Straight push out.
Clean. Whoa.
Well.
Should move some. It's not
clean
on the edge of the 4-foot.
Clean.
He wants to stick around, and it will for 3. A 3 by Kevin Martin puts him on top by 4. It is a 7-3 score. We're at the 5th end break. Here are the Husky Wainwright Classic.
So it'll take about 10 minutes.
You're gonna make me move that window, aren't you?
We gotta get it right. Sierra from GMC. 365 days a year.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
I am the Rocky Mountains. 100 million years I have stood here. This I know. Lead with the left, follow with the right. Buy low, sell high. Look for windows of opportunity. Take the road less traveled. Keep your stick on the ice. The grass really is greener on the other side. And always maintain an open door policy. Coors Light, call the Rockies.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Mohawk with regular or Premium Plus ethanol blended gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station. Now a proud part of the Husky team.
CTV Sportsnet is proud to present the GMC World Curling Tour. Brought to you by GMC Sierra. GMC, 365 days a year. By M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. And by Husky. In Canada, it's Husky and Mohawk for fuel, food, and services.
A look at downtown Wainwright, Alberta, and a pickup of 3 by Kevin Martin in the 5th has given him a 7-3 lead over Brad Hanna in this all-Edmonton matchup. Next week, we go to Saskatoon, the Husky Saskatoon Curling Classic, and look at the names: Burtnick, Dogood, Guy Hemmings will be there, Harcourts, Shimko, McCauley. Semifinal and final coverage. It's a $60,000 purse, and all the action begins at 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in the events this weekend. Ulrich Schmidt picked up his second major win, this one defeating David Smith 5-4 in the Braid Hills International in Edinburgh, Scotland. Other activity, the McCain Super Spiel East. Look who's going to the Skins. Wayne Maddaw with a 5-1 win. A big win there over Brian Refuse yesterday. 5-1 in Florenceville, New Brunswick was worth $14,000 to Maddaw. The St. Paul Cash Bill, Tim Somerville was a winner, 5-1 to pick up $5,800. His victory over John Madure in a U.S.-based event. The Painted Hand Classics look at the semifinals. Bruce Cordy's having himself a very good season. He's in the semifinals along with Spiring, and Dogood has moved into the semifinals as well, as they're battling for $12,000 in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. The Abbotsford Classic in the final. 2 great names, Greg McCauley, the defending BC champ, and Rick Folk. $10,000 on the line. The PharmaSave Classic semifinals, Vic Peters continues to roll. He's one of the top money winners so far this year. Restall and Wallace in the other semifinal in Gimli, Manitoba. And here's the updated money leaders. If Kevin Martin were to win, he'd have $41,980, would move him into 5th place. Wayne Maddaw is first now with his victory in Florenceville. And if Kevin Martin finishes as the runner-up, he's still in the top 6 with $35,980. Starting to get interesting in the GMC World Curling Tour. And here right now, it is a 7-3 Kevin Martin lead over Brad Hanna. Stay with us with more from Wainwright, Alberta.
This week's tip is on having the right equipment and can make the game a little easier and a lot more fun. The first thing you want to check is your broom. I know it's been sitting by the furnace all winter, but you have to pull it out, take a look at it, make sure the head's clean. Whether it's a synthetic broom or a hair broom, you want to make sure the hairs aren't coming out, that the synthetic on it is clean, to make sure it's not dropping stuff. There's nothing worse than losing a game or losing a big shot because your broom has dropped a hair or the synthetic has lost something off it. Curling shoes can be the most important part of your equipment. When pulling them out for the start of the year, you want to check your gripper foot. Make sure that the gripper's in good shape and it's not dropping debris all over the ice. Your slider foot, you want to make sure the slider's in good shape. It's not all scratched up because it can cause you to slide offline. And one more tip, stop in and visit the friendly folks at M&M Meat Shop.
Hey guys, it's getting dark. Come on, one more game. Oh, get out! Dad?
Best 2 out of 3.
Sierra from GMC, 365 days a year.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Always knew our son would make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame. We just wish he would have taken us.
The Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. You and 9 friends can get into the Molson Canadian Millennium Gala at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where you can win 2,000 tickets to your local team. Look at specially marked cases for the Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. Call 1-800-499-6583.
M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter. Another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Mohawk with regular or premium plus ethanol blended gasoline. The ethanol blend provides a built-in gas line antifreeze to help your engine start fast and run smoothly, even in the coldest of weather. This winter, you'll win with Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station. Now a proud part of the Husky team.
Well, let's look at the fifth inning breakdown with Kevin Martin leading Brad Hanna by a score of 7-3. The steals, 3 for Kevin Martin. That put him ahead by a 4-0 count. Hanna came battling back, but that 3 in the fifth hurts.
What is really outstanding here is the hitting percentage there of the Kevin Martin team. 92% on their hits. That's their strength, but they can play the draw game as well, and we saw that in the second end when they stole that big 3-ender, but that hitting percentage, 92%. Wow, that's way up there.
And as we watch Don Bartlett deliver, sixth end underway.
This one will definitely be going into the rings. Bartlett wouldn't want to be short with this. His team up 7-3.
Good. Yep. Okay, that's good. It's sliding nice.
And he places it perfectly, right where Martin wanted it, close to the top 4 foot.
Over here.
Brad Hanna asking for the corner guard, and you got to feel a little sorry for Brad here. He was down 4-0. He fought his way back into the game, made it a 4-3 game. All of a sudden, he's back into the jackpot, giving up 3 there in the fifth end, 4 behind once again, so having to start all over again.
Halfway. Clean. Whoa.
Brian being asked to place the out-turn guard a long way over.
Whoa, Clarabelle. Boy.
And Hanna doesn't want it too close to the boards. He wants to be able to have a rock he can get around with some rings left.
Right in, good.
Bartlett curling 8 years now with Kevin Martin.
Wow. Oh, let it die. No sense. Let it die for Will. A little by this one. Oh, that's good. That's good. Good.
Good spot. Didn't want to be just straight across from his zone and set up a pocket for a freeze.
Let's go another corner.
Up go the goalposts, 1 on each side. And the way this double guard system works, 1 on each side of the center line, is that you bury in behind one. Martin would have to peel off that guard. You bury in behind the second. Martin hits the open one. You bury in behind the second one again, trying to set up the 3-ender.
What's up, Brian?
Four rocks already played in this end. The 3-rock rule definitely no longer in effect. Rycroft really slid out hard and low on that one.
And there's the peel.
And the junior fellow was beginning to get the weight. Doesn't quite have what you'd be getting from Walchuk or Martin as yet, but he can throw them fairly hard.
We're starting to see this more and more as we've traveled with the World Curling Tour,
Halfway
as all of a sudden a lot of very talented juniors joining some good teams and starting to make a name for themselves. A nice combination of the youth and the experience.
Setting up the goalposts once again.
Easy.
And Hannah will do that with the first 3 or 4 shots of this end.
Easy. No.
Then he'll have to think about either making a play on those rocks in the 4-foot
Easy.
or going behind one of the corner guards.
Shot.
Coming with a little pace again, Carter Rycroft.
Well, that delivery is so good, so straight.
Might do some damage here.
Knocks out one of his own. The Husky Wainwright Classic. This works like clockwork, and there is the organizer, Howard Neth. He's the event organizer. Got most of the community involved. Posters all over town. A lot of welcomes on signage outside a lot of the establishments welcoming the people to Wainwright and to this event. And our hats are off to Howard. His is on, ours are off. Thanking him for a great week of curling.
If you want to get it done around here, you say, where's Howard?
That's right.
I'm good.
And as soon as we finish showing him, the phone rang, he's on the phone again.
Hard! Hard! Come on!
Hannah playing the freeze to this. He's thinking that if he could get a good freeze, maybe Martin can't get it out, or Martin might jam it in behind the corner for him, off the yellow. It's set up for that. However, with Walchuk throwing the big heat here, it'll probably spring right out of the rings.
Again, he's on the phone. Well, it's never over. Even though they're into the championship, Howard's either taking food orders or a drink order. I'm not sure what he's doing there. Or working on next year's. What do you think?
Well, he's got it going. He's always a busy man.
Hurt! Hurt!
And here comes the heat. And he just cleans house.
Small victory there for Brad Hannah. Nothing left in the rings, only the corner guard, so Hannah can now go around the corner. Walchuk throws these awful hard. Doesn't look like he's come out of the hack with a tremendous amount of weight, but it gets there in a hurry.
Here's a question now for you, Ed. If all of a sudden Kevin decides to keep things fairly tidy now, is it worth taking one when you're down by 4? Do you have to try to wait and try to build an end?
You mean as far as blanking this end if you were Brad Hannah? Well, if you're Hannah, you want to control the hammer.
Yeah.
You want to be able to set up an end where you can get 2, maybe 3, get back into the game. He has a corner guard that he's trying to use here. Got to sweep hard just to get by.
Might not get by.
And that's frustrating when you have the corner, can't get in behind it. This is that straight spot on the end turn. Should run absolutely straight down that line on the edge of the 4-foot. All the times Walchuk curled with me in Spiels, about 3 or 4 times. On these peels, he said, just relax, just sit back and enjoy the view. Doesn't take it long to get there. Held back a little bit on that one. Still a guard opportunity there to get in behind. Running out of rings, though. A bury would be right to the edge of the 12-foot. There's sometimes you think that they should have made these rings in curling square rather than round. There's a problem there when somebody taps one out the corner and you go, look, oh, it would be in the square, but it's not inside the rings.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa! Whoa! Got a lot of room, guys.
This one with a lot of room.
Whoa!
Now starting to move.
Go deep, yep. Come on, hard. Come on, hard. Come on, Mookie. Come on. Hard.
And
What?
it's in the 12s. They should be able to get a good look at that for the Martin team as he slides back. World Curling Tour, not only is it a pretty good payday, but it helps if you're looking for a berth in the Olympics. The 99, 2000, 2001 Brier winners will be in the Olympic qualifier, and the 2000 and 2001 Players Champion also gets an invite. And the winners of these 5 events, the Canadian Club Triple Spiel in Kelowna, SGI in Regina, the Husky Saskatoon, Welton Beauchamp out of Ottawa, and the Maritime Classic in Halifax, they also get a ticket to the Olympic qualifier. So an opportunity to go on, and as Jeff Stoughton said to us yesterday, Ed, he's awfully happy to have at least one ticket in his pocket now for that Olympic qualifier.
He has the first spot out of the 10 teams that will play in those Olympic trials, and we talked about that. He can really be the spoiler if he plays in any of those events. He could beat out teams that might have a chance. On the other hand, if some team happened to play him in the final of the event, even if he won, that team would get the spot, and that did happen in Saskatoon in 1997 when it was Madaw who beat Brent McDonald in the final. Madaw already had the spot from winning the Tour Championship in Jasper, so Brent McDonald went to the Olympic trials as well. So Stoughton with a chance there to be the spoiler and also maybe make somebody happy if they play him in the final.
And adds a certain amount of luster to those events, already very important events on the World Curling Tour, just a little more glitter to them with the Olympic qualifying berth on the line.
Straighten it up.
Brad now deserting his idea of drawing in behind the corner, instead playing a freeze to that Martin stone in the back of the house.
No.
Got an awful lot.
Take harder, John. Take harder.
Good sweep.
And Rob, you asked about the possibility of would Hannah blank this in? Well, Martin might not let him. If Martin can make this and sit 2, Hannah would then be forced to take 1. And I remember Kevin Martin back in his 1986-87 days when he was Canadian junior champion, and he could throw hard like he can now, but he didn't have the draw game that he has at this stage. He's really developed that soft draw game, having played a lot of the great players over the years like Howard and Wernick, Hackner, and a lot of those.
That's fine.
Might have a hard time staying with that weight. It's gone.
Light again.
Feel.
Nothing fancy there.
Surely to goodness this one isn't going to curl. Surely to goodness this one won't curl.
So the final rock of the 6th end, and Brad Hannah. Quick little quote. Surely to goodness this one won't curl.
He could take the 1 here and move further along on the scoreboard. He's going to go for the blank instead.
And, he's going to take 1. It's going to be a pickup of 1 by Hannah. It's 7-4. And the hammer belongs to Kevin Martin again. The final of the Husky Wainwright Classic, part of the GMC World Curling Tour.
Top of the world. Mountains, snow, sky, and the GMC Jimmy? Introducing the 2000 GMC Jimmy. For a limited time, Jimmy features no-charge running boards and is packed with features offering you mountains of value and performance. The GMC Jimmy, taking GMC's renowned comfort and capability to new heights.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
I am the Rocky Mountains. 100 million years I have stood here. This I know. Lead with the left, follow with the right. Buy low, sell high. Look for windows of opportunity. Take the road less traveled. Keep your stick on the ice. The grass really is greener on the other side. And always maintain an open door policy.
Coors Light, call the Rockies.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Mohawk with regular or Premium Plus ethanol blended gasoline with a built-in gas line antifreeze. The ethanol blend offers added performance and a reduction of harmful emissions. This winter, you'll win with Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station. Now a proud part of the Husky team.
Welcome back to Wainwright, Alberta. Seventh end of action just underway. Putting up a guard right away was Blaylock, and now this is the Martin team. Bartlett responding by coming into the rings.
Okay.
And we can give viewers a bit of an update. The PharmaSave Classic in Gimli, Manitoba. The semifinals are complete. Howie Restall has moved into the final and will play Vic Peters. So Vic Peters has a chance of changing things on the money winners list.
And Howie Restall's had a good year so far. We saw him in the semis in Jasper. And Vic Peters, a winner of 2 events in a row on the tour this year. And also from Abbotsford, Greg McCauley and Rick Folk in that final after 5 ends, zip all, no scoring.
Pitching a shutout.
That sure is a low-scoring game, and I know Rick sometimes will skip that defensive game, and McCauley's famous for it as well. Last week in Jasper, we saw one of those games between Park and Meek, and Park took 1 in the 6th end for a 1-0 lead. Meek didn't score till the 10th, where he finally tied it up 1-all.
Finish as hard as you can.
Park won it in the extra end, 2-1.
Okay, Brian.
I think boards, hack the board, something like that.
Right now, if you're Kevin Martin up by a score of 7-4 with the hammer here in the 7th end, you want to play it quite simple. Normally, his style here would be to go and peel off the guard.
Oh, clean.
This being the 4th rock at the end.
Okay, stay close. Stay close. Yep. Hard.
And he figured that one was fairly close to the button. That's why he decided to remove it. He thought it was a real good rock that Hannah might like to guard for the whole end to steal the point. And if you're Brad Hannah, it just has to be steal, steal, steal now. Get back into the game.
Stun those.
And I can't see him at this stage bothering with these rocks away off on the side. He has to steal.
Just go on, peel. No, just on the nose. Just up normal.
And if I was one of the sweepers, I might be lying down at the first hog line right now saying you're not going to hit these. You better start drawing here.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hard.
Does he get a good roll, though? Might be too good. Might be right out.
You got the 1, and he is adios.
And that shot just didn't have a lot of sense or rationale in behind it.
There's comparison. Carter Rycroft at 88% through 6.
He has a different different pullback delivery than some other juniors who pull it right back to their right foot. He comes right back into the middle of the hacks with the pullback, so he throws very similar to what Kevin Martin does. Their styles on the pullback are almost identical.
Center. Line good. Easy. It's clean. Clean. Shot, Chris.
Busy night on the net tomorrow. We've got a National Hockey League doubleheader. Begins with Pittsburgh at Buffalo at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and followed by the Colorado Avalanche visiting the Vancouver Canucks. 2 games all on one night. The home of the NHL, CTV Sportsnet.
That peel from Carter Rycroft, 6.6 seconds hog to hog, so he's getting up there into the
Walchuk zone.
Walchuk zone, challenging Martin for the heavy hitter on the team.
Well, he comes in with some great credentials. Curling for 12 years. As you mentioned, got all the way to the final against John Morris.
I asked him before the game, Carter, I said, are these guys giving you a tough time as rookie this year? He says, well, from the start, but it's been okay the last couple of weeks. So I think he's really earned his stripes on the team now. They've got a good chemistry going. They're playing very well.
Just halfway.
And I think it's all about earning respect, too. You know, they knew he was a good player. How good he would be at second, they didn't know. And obviously, he's played very well the last few weeks.
Pick it up at the end. Come on.
Well, this might be a great opportunity for them to build on performance here as they're going to the Skins game next week. And as Kevin said himself, it's, you know, it's the titles. It's nice to have the money. That's great. But he says, you want to finish the job. Oh, look at the difference in the thirds. Wow. Walchuk all over.
Hard, real hard. Back it off. Back it off.
Warren Hassel.
Walchuk at 6.2 seconds. That one went down the ice a little bit quicker than the one of Rycroft. And it appears that Brad Hand has kind of given up on the idea now of stealing this end.
Want to go another center?
Probably could throw another center. I don't think Martin would go around it with Walchuk's last stone. He might with Martin, his own first one.
Yep. Clean. Boy.
As we watch Don Walchuk clean that one off and play the takeout here. And curling's changed a lot over the years. Curlers now allowed, as long as they let go of the rock before the hog line, to slide as far as they want behind it.
Okay,
And that's been a big revolutionary change in curling, is the long slide, the big follow-through.
Good sweep.
There were days when a person had to stop entirely by the hog line, body and all. Rock went through, the person had to stop completely. And the history of those hog line rules are kind of strange. If you go back to the late 1950s in curling, some of the players were sliding like halfway down the ice with the rock still in their hand and would throw the rock from that halfway point down the ice. And it wasn't until, I believe it was around 1958, when a fellow from Saskatchewan by the name of Stan Osman at a Canadian high school championship, not junior, but Canadian high school championship, slid all the way down the ice with a draw to the button and slid with the rock and put it absolutely right on the button and stopped there. And he said, there it is. And the committee went, they couldn't believe it, that here was a guy who slid all the way down the ice to take his point. And of course, the rule changes just flooded in after that. And there was a myriad of rule changes after that. I can remember some of the ones where you had to stop entirely before the hog line, or your toe couldn't touch the hog line. And for years, Merv Mann used to have his feet stop, and they would drag in behind him, and his whole body would be over the line, but his feet would be in behind and the rock gone. And I can remember one of the funniest rules was that there was a point in time when your body had to come to a complete stop before the hog line, and I threw one of my high hard ones, and in the rings, I was up running after the rock. Well, the opposing skip came down and said, that's a foul. You haven't stopped. Although you were on your feet running, you'd never made a complete stop, and he was right. We took the rock off.
Part of the tee. Pull. Pull.
I like the story about sliding all the way down the ice and just placing your stone. It's a whole different game that way, isn't it?
Right to the back.
Well, with the fast sliders nowadays, a lot of these players could do that like nothing.
throw a spot where we'll draw. I haven't drawn for a while.
I could still get down there all the way. I just need somebody to push me or pull me.
Well,
you should get sponsorship from a towing company.
Hannah trying to hit and stay. Force Martin to have to blank.
It's going to roll out.
Martin will just throw it through. Last rock of the 7th end. Not much to be learned here. He'll throw it through, get the blank. May select a certain spot on the ice where if he has to play a shot later, he'll test the ice. So he just wants to throw regular board weight. He'll watch it go down and follow that spot. See how it runs. And he's been playing all those hits from the outside in, so he throws this one inside out to check the ice.
And he does. He watches it all the way through. It goes through it as a blank end. Martin holds on to the hammer going into the 8th with a 3-point lead over Brad Hanna.
Top of the world. Mountains, snow, sky, and the GMC Jimmy. Introducing the 2000 GMC Jimmy. For a limited time, Jimmy features no-charge running boards and is packed with features offering you mountains of value and performance. The GMC Jimmy, taking GMC's renowned comfort and capability to new heights.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Every year about the same time, same place, it's back with a blast. Another cold Canadian winter, another frozen gas line. This winter, fight back. Fill up at Mohawk with regular or premium plus ethanol blended gasoline. The ethanol blend provides a built-in gas line antifreeze to help your engine start fast and run smoothly, even in the coldest of weather. This winter, you'll win with Mohawk, Mother Nature's gas station, now a proud part of the Husky team.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Always knew our son would make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. We just wish he would have taken us.
The Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. You and 9 friends can get into the Molson Canadian Millennium Gala at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where you can win 2,000 tickets to your local team. Look at specially marked cases for the Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. Call 1-800-499-6583.
And that is what you see when you drive into Wainwright. Very impressive marker for this town. Husky Wainwright Classic, part of the GMC World Curling Tour. Into the 8th end we go. 7-4 the score for Kevin Martin. And take this time to tell you about the GM Goodwrench Skins Game 2000. Look at the east-west format they've got set up in the names. Burtnick, Martin, Peterson, Stoughton from the west. Harris, Hemmings, Middaugh, and Eddie Wernick. From the east, the quarterfinals are on the Saturday. Semifinals and final on Sunday, February 6th at Scarborough Golf and Country Club. Hope you can join us for that. And there's a young fan here, the Wainwright Curling Club. Decorative headgear. Keep him warm. Watching the action.
Looks like lots.
Martin holds onto the hammer after blanking
Looks like a
the
ton,
7th
no?
end.
All right. Halfway's good. I can see his hair giving these coming.
That opening rock of the 8th end, halfway between the hog and the rings. Fairly long guard. Martin ignoring it. It's in the free guard zone, and with the 3-rock rule, he can't remove it entirely from play. Can't hit it to the sideboards or hit that red one over the back line until after the 3rd rock of the end. So just to keep away from a clutter in the middle, which might give an easier steal to Brad Hanna, Martin asking for this first shot. of his teams on the 8th end over to the corner of the rings.
Well, Brad Hanna had a team meeting and said, well, guys, we're going to have to put up the guards and play the come-around game, and let's try to make everything. They know that their situation getting a little tighter now here in the 8th end.
They stay with that one right to the end, and they get it perfectly to the 9 o'clock position in the 12-foot.
Mookie Blaylock has to put something tight to the rings.
He's had his draw weight the whole game. Very nice slide. Flat-footed slide on the Teflon. There we see the GMC World Curling Tour crest on the left.
He played with Schlender and was at the World Curling Tour Players Championship in Fort McMurray in '98.
To manufacture this steel, it's not important to bury on this one. Put this one on the tee line somewhere. If it buries, fine, but at least get it to the tee line, make Martin have to hit it, and ignore that center guard, which Hanna could get around later.
Take a look at the lead numbers through 7 ends of action. Blaylock at 95, Bartlett at 89.
And Bartlett, the Brier All-Star, being out-curled by Blaylock. But mostly draws played by these players. Bartlett now with his 4th hit out of 16 shots.
Hurry! Hard! 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 You've lost it. Good shot. Go over that.
If you're Brad Hanna, you just got to keep ignoring these yellow ones and keep trying to bury in behind the long red guard.
Easier to get there.
And the problem with hitting here is that if you roll right out, in going for this roll, well, then Martin will peel to center.
Like board?
The winner of this event last year was Jeff Stoughton over Doug Walker in the final by a score of 10-4. Stoughton took home $14,000 first prize. This year it's been up to $16,000. And so far, Kevin Martin with a lock on that.
Hard! Come on! Hard!
Knocks away the one stone. The red will stick around for shot. Well, one of the interested spectators right there, that's Carrick Martin, the 10-year-old son of Kevin.
I don't really want to get
apparently
one
pretty good
on each
hockey
side of the
player
house too
in his
bad.
own right.
Looks like a good young athlete.
And he is watching the skip of one particular team. That man there, Dad Kevin.
Looks like he wears the number 10
Yeah.
on his jacket. The old number of Guy Lafleur, wasn't it? Montreal Canadiens.
Fly. Now, we know that Carrick plays hockey. I wonder how his curling game is. I wonder if he's got the heat the way Dad has.
Well, I don't know if he can throw him that hard yet. And how much time does a kid have? You know, school, playing hockey, starting into curling?
I'm hoping so.
And probably the internet as well.
He's probably into the curling trading cards. Probably has a lot of fast Eddie Lukowicz cards.
Whoa! Ton of room.
Near the end.
Whoa! Up! Gotta grab something. Come on, go deep.
Boy, did that one ever
Oh,
track
have a look,
down the
have a
edge
look.
of the
There's lots of
4-foot.
weight there.
And there's still weight.
Got.
You know, we talked about, I just mentioned those trading cards. You know, this could be what he's collecting. Look at that. Steady, strong.
I remember that shot. It was in 1986, and it was an outturn. and it picked, too.
I want to know about the stick-on mustache that you had in that one. I like that, Fast Eddie. You were ready. There's the numbers on the second. Chris Hassel's at 82%, 89% for Carter Rycroft.
Well, now you'll see in the game now, Hassel has to continually throw up the draws and the guards, and Rycroft is staying with the hits, playing more hits every end, up to 10 already. And Rycroft with fine numbers there for the 22-year-old, 89% overall.
Let it move.
Hassel with his first shot.
Close.
Of the 8th in. Warren, that is.
Hey!
Playing a guard.
Come on, Hard. Come on. Hard, hard, hard. Hard has come. Come on, Hard. Hard, hard, hard. Hard.
Might as well hit this thing, no? All right.
Curled in a spiel in Long Lac one time with Don Walchuk, and we didn't arrive in Long Lac until 4 in the morning. We had to curl at 8, and it was a double knockout spiel. We lost at 8, and we thought, well, now we can get some sleep. We went and looked at the board, and right away we were playing a guy by the name of Russ Howard. We ended up giving him 6 in the 8th in and lost that as well. So we played the rest of the spiel with Don Walchuk skipping in the Constellation C event. And darn it if he didn't lose that final.
Good.
Oh, he lost it, did he? You had nothing to do with that?
I refused to sweep with the consolation
Oh,
event.
there it is. Let's look at the third numbers. Warren Hassel's at 70%, struggling on the hits, and Donnie Walchuk, 95%, but he's thrown 12 hits.
And he made 2 good shots, those draws in the second end to set up the steal of 3. And that was a crucial end.
Line's good. Line's good. Just for weight. Just clean. Close. Yep. Yep. Come on. Come on, hard now. Hard. Hurry. Boy, that curls a lot.
Yeah, that spot doesn't move as Kevin Martin can attest when he missed there in the 4th end. If you go through the history of the Brier, I don't think you're going to find anybody who had a higher peeling percentage than this man, Don Walchuk. Especially in the years when he played there in 87, 88, and 89.
Hard. Really hard, guys.
Second for Pat Ryan. And those were the peeling days before the 3-rock rule.
You know, with the way that Walchuk throws, this is an aerobic workout for the front end. Just trying to stay with the rock of Bartlett and Rycroft.
Well, in reality, though, sweeping the high hard one, as long as you've got the speed to run, it's a far easier rock to sweep than what the Hanna team now has to do. Hanna behind in the game, they're throwing all those draws and soft shots, and when you get on those and you have to sweep them early, it is really tiring to sweep the draw shot.
Yours finished real nice at the end, but that's it. You got to sweep it at all, it's not going to do anything. We'll see. The hair more. That's good.
And you'll especially find that on the tour if you're in your 3rd game of the day and you're behind in the game. The other team's got all the enthusiasm, and you're fighting from behind. It's the 3rd game, and you're having to sweep all the draws. This is only the 2nd game for these teams as the quarters were played last night.
Line. All right, lines go. Whoa.
But normally in most of the spiels, it's the quarters in the morning, the semis in the afternoon, the finals at night.
All right. Go deep, then. Come on. All right.
And here is a skip comparison. 64% for Brad Hanna. Kevin Martin's only had the 13 shots recorded because he threw the 1 shot right through to complete the blank in the 7th end. He's at 73%.
Van Hanna's had a few misses, and Martin as well. Really, I think the game has been won when you look at it, you know, by the good skipping that Martin has done and the way his team has curled in front of him. They're all curling 90% in front of him, basically. And he's had fairly simple shots, although he did miss the shot for 2 in the 4th end and came up short on a draw on his first one at that end as well. They really had control of the game all the way. Doesn't make the double there.
Looks like yellow is shot stone. And that's been a common complaint, that it's not finishing at all.
Hey? Yep. Those work good. See what it does here. How's that? That all right?
Kind of weight? It's normal?
Yeah, I think so. Normal hit. Yeah. Right in the nose.
Sweeper's working hard trying to hold the line. He hits and stays. It's a lie, too. He's going to force Martin to have to take one.
Sweep.
Good shot by Brad Hanna to have two in there. Martin could get two here if he doesn't throw real hard. Just board weight, make that double. He could roll over with his shooter, get the two. Could be throwing more than that, though. On some of these shots, even when he has to hit and stay, he just might ignore the double here. Just make sure he hits and gets the one dead on.
Final rock, eighth end.
Floating back. It's definitely in double country or jam country.
Fine.
Gets one, and that is what he'll take. He'll take a single in the eighth, and it is an 8-4 score. 4-point lead again for the Kevin Martin team from Edmonton.
You're gonna make me move that window, aren't you?
We gotta get it right. Sierra from GMC. 365 days a year.
Waiting for mom or dad to get home from work is a daily ritual. But what if they don't come home from work? What if they don't come home at all? You see, Ontario is one of the safest places in the world to work, but more than one person a week still doesn't come home. A safer workplace is everyone's responsibility. The Workplace Safety and Insurance Board can help. Doing your job well is one thing. Doing it safely is everything.
This is how some sports networks put together their morning shows. And this is CTV Sportsnet.
Good morning, everybody.
So you can watch last night's show over and over. Or get interviews, scores, stories, breaking sports news weekday mornings on Sports Central AM. The choice is yours.
Top of the world. Mountains, snow, sky, and the GMC Jimmy? Introducing the 2000 GMC Jimmy. For a limited time, Jimmy features no-charge running boards and is packed with features offering you mountains of value and performance. The GMC Jimmy, taking GMC's renowned comfort and capability to new heights.
The Husky Wainwright Classic. It's part of the GMC World Curling Tour. And here Kevin Martin of Edmonton with a pickup of one in the eighth has a 4-point lead over Brad Hanna. Hanna out of Sherwood Park. His lead, Mookie Blaylock, is from Edmonton. And two from Lloydminster, the Hassel brothers. Interesting combination. A lot of driving for the Hassels to get in the Edmonton Super League to play. As Chris said, the 9:30 draw is a tough one. They usually roll back home around 2 in the morning.
That's a lot of dedication, driving that amount of hours to play in the Super League in Edmonton.
They say they do throw some stones, the club in Lloydminster, but all their action is in Edmonton. I guess try to be a part of the Hanna team. They want to stay together and play as much as they can together.
Well, I'm impressed with the way they throw.
Halfway.
Nice deliveries. They have really
Halfway,
good control
guys,
of weight.
halfway. Come on.
And in fairness, this game, I don't think it's their normal style of game, being
hey boy,
this far down, and it just hasn't worked out for them. And really, that second end was the culprit end, where they gave up a steal of 3 to Kevin Martin. Unfortunately, and too, they rubbed a couple of guards where if they had gotten by, they would have had doubles. Instead, they got nothing out of it.
Stay close. Are you hungry?
That one in the free guard zone, and Kevin Martin
threw that really good.
Asking for that one just to get ticked over to the boards, chisel it over, and have the shooter go out of play. Didn't quite work as he went right by it.
Yeah. Kevin said he gave up too much ice to him, and said to Don it was his fault. 3-rock rule looks like this. The rocks in the free guard zone cannot be removed from play until after the 3rd rock of the end is played, and that shaded area is the free guard zone.
Well read, free guard zone man.
Well, you know, in previous shows, we used to have you draw it, but your skills changed over it. So we've now done it graphically.
And the penalty for breaking the free guard zone is that normally the rock that was taken off goes back into play, although that is up to the non-offending skip, the one that wasn't at fault. Sometimes he'll leave it as is. But at any rate, there can only be the 1 rock replaced, either the one that was moved out of play or the shooter staying there. Now into the 4th rock of the end. This, the 5th rock of the end, going for the double is Carter Rycroft. Almost.
Just misses it. Very close indeed as he peels away one of the guards. Well, you know, it's a busy day in sports, and with it a look ahead at what's going to be following curling, let's join the people in Sports Central.
Gentlemen, we will have the lone NHL game. The Maple Leafs trying to move into first place. The big story, though, Steve Francis has returned to Vancouver. And a Monday nighter that was once a great game, Green Bay and Frisco. I don't know. Let's go back to Falsey and move.
Easy. Clean.
Thank you very much. The GMC World Curling Tour. Somebody's going to take $16,000 away, $10,000 to the runner-up, and both impressive totals that will certainly, I think, rumble the standings in World Curling Tour.
Well, it's a good chunk of money, 16 grand. Kevin Martin with really the road 2 of that win right now.
He came in 8th with $25,980.
Clean.
Could move into the top 5 with a victory.
Carter. Good.
We see that throw from Carter. He's really down low and behind that peel. And for his draws, he slides just marginally higher, or 3 or 4 inches higher, just to get a better feel for the weight. Looks like he's having a lot of fun on this team. Hannah still asking for the outturn, setting up the goalposts, the guard on each side. I would think that when it comes to the 3rd stones, he'll be going behind that guard on the right-hand side.
It's like lots.
Chris Hassel with the guard. They'd like it straight across from their own, avoid a double. There seems to be some finish there. Brad is trying to put these guards where he feels he can draw behind them and get a good bury. Martin thinking that this one on the left-hand side of the sheet, more the problem rock, easier to bury in behind. So he wants to leave the other guard thinking, well, it's not quite as easy to get in behind the one on the right-hand side of the sheet.
Clean.
Peeling from the outside in for 2 reasons. Runs very straight here and also less distance to roll to the boards. Martin with a little gamemanship thinking, well, I don't think you can bury behind that one over there. Let's see. Talked to Kevin Martin before the game, and he said when those guards are right about where that line is, we were actually drawing, he said, from the outside in, and we found it came in much better. And I said, are you going to show us that shot tonight? And he said, I will. He hasn't had an opportunity to do it as yet. Been too busy peeling the last few minutes.
That's done.
Oh, something's happened to this rock, and it is...
You're good, Warren. That picks him?
Kind of a rack on the guard, and it may have picked something, because all of a sudden that took the severe curl.
Peel. Hey? The double peel's pretty thin, hey? Just...
The double peel is quite thin, as Martin said. Peeling the other way from the inside, hitting the red and driving it on the other red, it might spin it into the rings.
Hurt. Well,
shot.
And gets one.
Got the one rolled across the top of the face of the other one. It's a numbers game now for the Martin team. Just hold them down, keep getting rid of those red stones, make them disappear from play. Just make them go away.
Like that?
Thinking ahead here in the 9th end. If Hannah could bury one here and pick up 2, he'd go into the 10th end 2 down without the hammer. Tough chance to win, but still some life.
Come on, hard. Quick. Come on, guys. Come on.
The line is okay. Does he have the weight to get there? Not buried, though.
You can get a good look at it. And an update from Abbotsford. You know, you gave us the rundown that it was scoreless after 5. Well, they started to score. Obviously, they thought, well, enough for the defense. Rick Folk defeating Greg McCauley 6-4 to win $11,000 at the Abbotsford Classic in British Columbia.
And BC is getting to be a tough province this year, really tough. Like you have Pat Ryan out of Kelowna, Rick Folk out of Kelowna, Greg McCauley, who won Kelowna, the Kelowna Spiel, and then Kamloops back-to-back, and Bert Gretzinger, the BC champion from last year. McCauley, the winner of BC the year before. That's a tough field.
That ran true down there.
Not only did he make the hit, he stayed there and he cut the guard off. Now Hannah can't draw in behind the red one. He's going to try to go in behind the yellow instead.
Choke it on.
Brad Hannah, he's going to go with the end turn, and he'd like to get this one real deep.
Go around it, I guess.
Just shot rock way back there for 2 reasons. Try to get it hidden, more room to curl. Try to make this raise longer as well. And Martin might not be able to make it and miss it that way. But it's not easy when you have to start drawing round rocks in the rings. Unless you played in Ottawa this year, where Shorty Jenkins made that ice and it was swooping 5 feet or so, as we saw in that final. Had the big power swing going there.
Yep. Room. Yep. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Close. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, they definitely want it deep.
Whoa.
Oh, wait till it's 5.
Whoa.
Gotta go deep.
Go deep. Go deep.
Yep. Right back.
Hard. Hard. Hurry. Hard.
One sweeper behind the tee line, and it is back.
Let's give you an update from the PharmaSave Classic in Gimli, Manitoba. It will be Vic Peters against Howie Restall for the $5,200 first prize money. And for all the results this week, you can check out the website at www.wctour.com. I give you the results, the money winners, and a look ahead at the rest of the World Curling Tour schedule.
And each week we're seeing more of the events on the tour with their own website, so you can pick up the draw on that particular event even before the event and then follow it right through. Martin trying to pick that one out.
And he does. Nice shot.
That was tight, really tight, but he got by.
And they're shaking hands. Kevin Martin has defeated Brad Hannah to win the $16,000 first prize money in the Husky Wainwright Classic. A steal of 3 in the second put Martin in charge of this game. He continued to roll with 3 in the 5th, going on to a victory. Brad Hannah simply running out of rocks. We will come back to wrap it all up from Wainwright, Alberta.
Hitting that 3 dodge.
Oh, well, yeah.
Guys, it's getting dark. Come on, one more game. Look out! Dad?
Best 2 out of 3.
Sierra from GMC, 365 days a year.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
I am the Rocky Mountains. 100 million years I have stood here. This I know. Lead with the left, follow with the right. Buy low, sell high. Look for windows of opportunity. Take the road less traveled. Keep your stick on the ice. The grass really is greener on the other side. And always maintain an open door policy. Coors Light, call the Rockies.
M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of party food ideas, one aisle.
Oilers Canucks, Thursday, 8 Mountain on CTV Sportsnet. Game day, every day. CTV Sportsnet is proud to present the GMC World Curling Tour. Brought to you by GMC Sierra. GMC, 365 days a year. By Molson Canadian. Here's where we get Canadian. By M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. And by Husky. In Canada, it's Husky and Mohawk for fuel, food, and services.
A steal of 3 in the second, had 3 more in the fifth. Not enough for Brad Hanna to get back into this one. Kevin Martin of Edmonton with an 8-4 victory in the event, the Husky Wainwright Classic. And with the victory, Kevin Martin moves into 5th place with $41,980. He is in the top 5. And next Sunday, we go to Saskatoon for the Husky Saskatoon Curling Classic. Total purse of $60,000 in the first prize, $15,000. Semi-final and final all on the same day. Sports Central follows curling in all regions. Certainly jump in and get the latest. Doug Callahan of Husky Oil presenting the check for Ed Lukowicz and the entire CTV Sportsnet crew. I'm Rob Foltz. Take care, everybody.